Hey guys, it's Rob, and we've got a special guest in the studio today. Internet sensation Dylan Parentis. He is an Instagram superstar. That's coming up in just a second. Okay.
What's going on?
That glitchy computer is what's going on. How you doing, man?
I'm doing so well.
Haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been on the show, but I've been grinding on Instagram.
You've been kicking ass on Instagram. You got 305,000 followers now.
Yeah. Launched a t-shirt company.
Okay.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, tell everybody about the t-shirt company.
So I have a t-shirt. I'm trying to get the mic in a good spot here. I just launched a t-shirt company. It's called America Reborn apparel.com, and you can go there. We have shirts, we have hats, we have drawstring bags, backpacks, literally everything, and it's pretty good stuff. I launched it with a buddy of mine.
Nice.
He's also pretty big on Instagram, and we've been it's been pretty good. It's
been selling the heck out of some shirts.
Yeah,
and
I'm wearing
stuff.
one right now. Look at that.
I see that
design.
I see that.
Yeah. I mean, this just brings dude, I walk outside, women. All right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Unfortunately, all the people in this neighborhood are 70.
Yeah.
So
but
those
are the ones you want.
That's the only negative.
I'm going.
So tell everybody where they can find you on Instagram.
So you can find me on Instagram at 2_savage_4_Democrats. You can find me on YouTube at Dylan's Daily Show. You can find me on Twitter at TSF Networks. Everything is a different name because I have no organizational skills.
Yes. Yes.
But so pretty much there you go.
Well, I thought we'd talk a little bit about, what's going on in the news today.
Yeah.
Just throw something together here and get your thoughts on it. You as a millennial, me as a Gen Xer. You had mentioned this breaking story about Robert Mueller and ties to a Russian oligarch.
Yeah, let me pull that up.
Which I thought was kind of interesting.
This is crazy stuff. So,
God, such a freaking mess.
The investigation actually just entered its year,
1 year yesterday, I believe.
Yeah. And we found nothing.
Yeah.
Hey. It's time to stop. Okay, we've literally found nothing. The people you have brought in, you've brought in on charges completely separate from the Russia investigation.
Yes.
And you're making yourself look like an idiot. I understand, Mueller, that you botched the anthrax investigation in the 90s, and now you want to redeem yourself, but it's not going to work. So I'm reading through the news today, and The Hill, which pretty credible. They came out with a story. It said Mueller may have a conflict, and it leads directly to a Russian oligarch. And it says here, Mueller got a cool $25 million from a Russian billionaire to negotiate a release of an FBI/CIA agent from Iran, and in return, his business dealings with the U.S. would be facilitated. Can't even make this up.
$25 million.
$25 million. And this is the guy
man.
That's leading the Russia probe. He's in charge of the Russia probe. We're trusting this guy. He's investigating Trump's ties to Russia. Meanwhile, he has ties to Russia.
Well, there's this whole thing. First of all, we were talking yesterday. I'm drawing a blank on the guy who blabbed in London at a bar about saying that the Russians had a bunch of Hillary's emails.
Yeah.
He and I'm just drawing a blank on his name. But he apparently was fed that information by someone associated with Hillary Clinton, a donor. Fed that information. Russians have them, and he was just repeating what he had heard.
Yeah.
But others heard it, and they went to the FBI and said he's talking. He says that there are Russians have all these emails with Hillary Clinton. And so the FBI used that as an excuse. The FBI and the DOJ used that as an excuse to go after the Trump campaign, even though this kid, 24 years old, peripherally involved with the Trump campaign. This whole thing was a setup.
Yeah,
this entire thing was a setup.
Yep.
Okay, and the reason why, nobody's saying this. It was a distraction from the real Russian collusion, which was Hillary Clinton's State Department, getting paid hundreds of millions of dollars by Russian-owned companies. Okay, and Uranium One.
Yeah,
that's what it was all about. It was all about covering that up, and then it was going to serve the dual purpose of taking down the Trump campaign.
Exactly. Well, it's the Russian dossier, the Steele dossier.
The Steele dossier.
It was completely fabricated. They used a fabricated document, the dossier, to obtain a warrant to investigate Trump. I mean, this entire thing is a complete mess.
Yeah.
But somehow people are just letting it slide. I don't think people. I mean, the poll numbers show people are not supporting the Mueller probe, and that's with the left-wing slant. So we'll see what happens, but I just think it's going to make a fool of itself. I actually heard something interesting the other day.
What?
Something will eventually, the only way, everything has a downfall. And the way it has a downfall is that it gets so powerful that it begins mocking itself. Now, take political correctness, for example.
Yes.
the left has gotten so powerful in the culture that they have begun mocking themselves with morals. So like political correctness is a mockery of actual morals.
Sure.
Not actual, so it means it's falling down. Now you've got the Mueller probe. Literally the guy leading the probe has ties to a Russian oligarch. Is that not a mockery?
It is.
I mean, it's just a complete mockery. I guarantee you the end is near, not for, but for the investigation.
It is weaponizing the FBI. Okay, now, Barack Obama weaponized the IRS and stopped conservative 501c3s from getting their tax-free status, so they could not run ads essentially before the 2010 election. Yeah. That went on for years. It was unbelievable. If you remember it, he also weaponized the FBI and the DOJ. Now, this is also another thing. This is all about, and they're mostly Democrats, obviously.
Yeah.
But this is about the deep state preserving itself. When an outsider was moving in, the possibility of him coming to Washington, D.C. and turning the place upside down.
Yeah.
Because they like the largesse of living in D.C. They like making 70% more than the average person, the average private sector individual. They like the power and the prestige and all of that stuff. But I'm going to tell you, to go after some of the people that they've gone after for the things, these extraneous things that are not even remotely associated with an investigation of collusion between the Trump campaign and Russia, obtaining a FISA warrant, abusing the FISA court system to surveil a campaign, then surveil a transition team, then surveil a new presidency, all hoping to stop it. It's absolutely the most corrupt thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it's honestly, it shows just what's going on in Washington, how bad the situation is, because these people have become so corrupted in their little bubble that now that someone's in their bubble, they're doing whatever they can to try to get rid of that person. And Trump is coming in, like, Trump wants to help the American people. He has nothing but good intentions for the American people. And these people just want to bring him down, but it's making them look bad.
Yeah.
I mean, Trump's winning in almost every single category
of
his presidency so far. Yeah. People are liking Trump, not necessarily because he's an outsider, but because he's getting results.
And he's doing what he said he was going to do.
Yeah, exactly. And so now what's happening is the people in Washington are being exposed for trying to take him down, and that's making them look bad, regardless of why. He could have actually done, which he didn't, but he could have actually done something with Russia. People aren't going to care because he's getting results. Yeah. You'll be surprised what people will overlook. I mean, look at Obama.
Oh, well, but also the only difference is that Trump media coverage is 90% negative. It is amazing that he has a 51% approval rating, depending on the poll you're looking
Rasmussen,
at. But that is remarkable considering that there has been this propagandistic, communistic coverage of Donald Trump that's 50 or 90% negative. It's just it is absolutely remarkable. Some of the major wins lately. We got the yesterday Jerusalem. We officially moved our embassy to Jerusalem. A lot of Palestinians are going bat crap crazy. These are bought and paid for protests by Hamas, by Iran, and these idiots are running towards the border. And Israel don't F around. Yeah. They shoot you. They shoot you. So we'll get to that in just a second. 3.9% unemployment. You've got GDP above 3% for 3 quarters now, 4 quarters.
Black unemployment, historic low.
Yeah, and Hispanic unemployment at a historic low.
But Trump's racist.
It is, he's a racist. If he is a racist, he's the worst racist ever.
No, he's the best racist because what he's doing is he's helping the, never mind. I'm not going to go on with the joke. It's a joke.
Okay, all right.
People have already heard it.
So another thing. Now, I think this is a victory. You think that we're being played. We're talking about North Korea and the release of 3 political prisoners. Mike Pompeo went over and got them. Of course, you saw Kim Jong-un walk across the DMV or DMZ, and
he would never be able to walk across the DMV. There's no way.
Shake hands with the South Korean president. So let me hear your thoughts on this.
All right. So I'm gonna break this down really quick. This is why I think this is good.
Okay.
But I think that North Korea bamboozled us. So here's the deal, right? The people in North Korea are suffering. China's cut trade down. They have no relations with South Korea. Nobody wants to work with them because of what they've been doing. Now, their ultimate goal was to be able to strike the United States with a nuke. That's their ultimate goal. And they proved with the missile tests a few months ago, they do have the capacity to do that, or the capability to do that. Now, there are 3 things that can't happen if Kim Jong-un wants to keep power, which this is what he wants. They can't have a war, because if he has a war, he'll lose, and he knows it.
Yeah.
He can't have an uprising from the people, because if he has an uprising from the people, then he'll lose power. And he can't have a military coup, which means the generals that are around him overthrowing him and taking power themselves. So the logical explanation would have economic reform, implement some sort of economic reform. But the issue with that is that if these people start to get a taste of the good life in North Korea, they won't want to live there. So what he has to do now is he has to somehow get resources into his country. He has the ultimate negotiating tool, right? He has a nuke that can strike the United States. Nobody wants to go to war.
Well, it's not capable of hitting the United States yet.
The missile was. They haven't actually tested it out. But here's the thing.
What?
He knows that Trump needs a victory on foreign policy to secure a victory for 2020. Mike Pompeo says he pays attention to Western media. So he's using that as a negotiating tool to get them to come to the table. He did this. This has happened 6 other times with North Korea, but this time's different because they actually have a nuke. He's coming out and he's saying, let's work together. China will reopen trade. South Korea will start working with them. The United States has already offered economic concessions for them. And all that North Korea is offering is to destroy the nuclear test sites. Why do they need the nuclear test sites if they can already strike the United States? Like, to me, I feel like this is, I don't want to say the Iran deal part 2 because we haven't even gone into the negotiation yet. Trump could do something different with this, but I don't like the look of this. I
disagree. I think for the first time we're playing hardball. I think for the first time we are playing hardball.
Yeah.
I think that Donald Trump is doing a better job with foreign policy and peace through strength than Ronald Reagan was by this time in his presidency. He means business. He is unpredictable. He said we will respond with fire and fury. He said that I've got a button 2, a nuclear button 2. Mine's bigger and it works.
Yeah.
All of these things are I think you're dealing with an unpredictable leader in North Korea who was effing around with us. He was firing missiles that were landing in the South China Sea, firing over Japan. All of this stuff is stopped. You'll notice also that our warships in the Persian Gulf are not being buzzed by Iranian boats anymore. All of this because we have an unpredictable leader and he doesn't F around. You've seen ISIS being crushed in Syria. They are broken. There are very small pockets of ISIS. They are on their end. I read a story about this the other day. And all of these things are happening. As far as North Korea, Bill Clinton sent Madeleine Albright to meet with Kim Jong-il. She took a basketball side by Michael Jordan. You can't play softball or basketball with these leaders. You've got to play hardball, and that's what Donald Trump has done. He said China is going to stop buying your goods. They're going to stop giving you oil and the things you need for your war machine. We caught him on a surveillance satellite delivering oil, and Donald Trump got on the horn with the president of China and said, knock it off.
Yep.
Kim Jong-il right now can't get his Courvoisier anymore, okay? He can't get his Courvoisier anymore, and he's realizing that, he's lived high on the hog for a very long time, and China has been propping them up, and that's drying up. That's going bye-bye.
Yeah.
That's going bye-bye. And he can't, his war machine cannot survive. It cannot last long. I mean, they're going to have initial strike. It can be very deadly and dangerous to South Korea, even Japan. However, it's unsustainable, and if they lose a war, then he's done.
Yeah.
Then he's done.
Yeah.
So I disagree with you.
Well, I think either way, he needs to remain in power. That's what he wants.
Yes, of course.
And so I think he does have the ultimate negotiating tool, right?
No.
We're not going to let people in South Korea die. We're not going to let people in Japan die. That's just not going to happen.
No.
And Kim Jong-un knows that. But I don't know. It just seems odd to me that he just kind of changed his tune all of a sudden. He went from malicious, evil, fat dude to now he's like Mr. Chubby Tubby Happy Man.
Yeah, well, I just it's hardball.
We'll see what happens. Hey,
we're not playing around with him anymore. We're not effing around with him. And Trump has a pretty good working relationship with the president of Xi Jinping, the president of China. And China has been suckling the teeth. There've been the sucker shark attached to the United States body for decades, and
we're reliant on them, and they're reliant on us.
And they're relying on us.
It's kind of a but
and they are reliant on us.
We'll see what happens. And North Korea's relying on everybody. So
now you mentioned a story that I did not see yet today about the Pope. What's going on with the Pope?
So you can look this up right now. So are you familiar with QAnon?
QAnon? No, I'm not. What is it?
So QAnon, and this is going to be new for your listeners. This is some crazy stuff, and let me go to this. Let me pull up this page really quick. I have a buddy.
Is it like Reddit?
So it is in a way like Reddit, except It's not. It's an anonymous QAnon, but it's Q, and he is
QAnon. Okay.
Yeah, he is a. We don't know who he is, but we have a feeling that he is within the government because he's relaying information that ends up being accurate. He predicted the North Korea situation. He predicted the Iran situation, and he's been predicting a lot. And there are a lot of different sources where you can find the QAnon stuff. And if your listeners are interested, we can show that. But the other day, he sent out April 3rd, 2018, and he says it in very like cryptic messages. He said, "Pope will be having a terrible May. Those who backed him will be pushed into the light, dark to light, truth." Now he tweets that now, or he doesn't tweet it because it's not a Twitter, but he sends that out on the QAnon. Now, April 15th, report comes out with Breitbart. The Pope is reportedly considering stepping down.
Wow.
Which means that he was probably tied up with all of this pedophilia that was going on within the Catholic Church. Now, I just want to make a point really quick. Just because the higher ups in the Catholic Church have had some issues does not make Catholics bad people.
No,
all right?
Of course
there are
not.
a lot of Catholics out there. My family is Catholic. They are people of faith who walk with God. But the Pope hiding this is a completely different situation. Now, your followers should really start looking into QAnon. This stuff is crazy. I'm not that well versed on it. I have a couple of friends who are, though, and they're trying to really get me on the train. But it is
How do I get the updates?
Stuff.
How do I get the updates on my mobile?
Well, so there are a ton of different Instagram pages, which I can read to you guys right now. There's his name was Seth Rich, Enemy Media, Breadcrumb_Messenger, Trend the Truth, Freedom Patriot Q. All of these pages, they report QAnon a lot. I get it from my buddy DC_Drano, and he reports the big stuff. But any of those pages I just mentioned right there on Instagram, they report the Q stuff. And
I need to really get into the Instagram thing. I've been focusing so much on Facebook, and then Zuckerberg effed us.
Zuckercock, yeah.
You're just a son of a bitch. You're gonna just a lousy.
You know what?
Son
And here's
of a
the
bitch.
issue: is I understand where he's coming from to a certain extent, right? He has but here's the issue. So when you start a company, you want to ensure that your company is friendly for everybody, right? That everybody is welcome, and when it grows to a certain size, you no longer can censor people because it's gotten so large that there is no competition. It's not like we can just move to another social media source. So he still wants to make it like that. And I don't think he's the problem. I think it's other people working that are the problem. But
when you look at the platforms of YouTube, Facebook, they own the alternative media. Yeah, they own it. They own it. Is a monopoly, and they have allowed people to spend. And I know the guy who put together Liberty One TV, Terry Littlepage. He's paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to get following on Facebook. Hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yeah, and they're pulling the rug out from under him. They're breaching their contract. And the thing is, if Facebook doesn't want to be a platform for publishers, then deny all publishers, not just conservatives. Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah, it's a huge problem. But there is an issue on the right. I think there is the alt-right, which is racist. Oh yeah, and they do have problems. Like there are a lot of white pride people, and I think that you've got these people who are ruining it for the rest of us. Like this show, we're not saying anything bad, right? My show, I don't say anything bad. I'm very careful about what I post. I see your dog's over there chilling. No, he's just like knocking on the door. He wants to watch the show. Oh yeah, front seat, yeah. But you know, I just want what's best for everybody. I try to be objective, but I am getting impacted by what these radical people are doing. Yeah. Right, and it's hurting us. Yeah. And it's the same with the left. And I think inevitably, this is going to be the downfall of the situation that we have right now, because you've got both sides that have moved so far to their, the right or to the left, that it's causing less and less people to be part of that movement.
Let me grab the dog.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
I'm going to go choke it to death if you don't mind.
Yeah, I'll continue talking here. So, I kind of view it as a train going down the train tracks, right? It makes a stop. People get off, right? So you've got this movement. Like, let's say the train is the right wing. It's moving down the tracks. People get off at the first stop as the train, because it just starts to get more radical the further down it goes. So they'll say, I'm getting off, right? I don't like this. Left wing, right? Getting off, I don't like this. Train keeps going, people continue to get off. Eventually, the movement gets smaller and smaller as your group gets more radical and radical. But the problem is that the people involved in it become more radical as well.
Well, it's you look at we've allowed these monstrous monopolies to happen. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and they're all run by leftists. Yeah. And it is a gigantic worldwide monopoly. You think about it. You think about the number of people it reaches. Facebook reaches, dear God in heaven, what is it, 2 billion people?
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's like 2 billion people. Yeah.
It's so many people. And we have to figure out a way as users of the platforms to get around this. Like there was this great app that just came out. It's called Convo.
Okay.
And it's a free speech app. You can say whatever you want, but it's not growing. You can't, nothing is going to grow at the same rate. Instagram's the fastest growing app right now in the App Store, if you just look at the App Store, right? So you've got Instagram, you got Facebook, you got YouTube. We just need to pressure these people, which I think is happening to some extent, into folding because they thought they could just go behind our backs and just do all this stuff undercover, but it's not working. It's like the Diamond and Silk situation, right?
Yeah, and Diamond and Silk, I understand they're trying to cover their own rear ends. I think they could have used their situation to help others as well in the conservative movement.
Yeah,
they didn't say anything about anybody else. It was all about Diamond and Silk. And I get it, you know. But there are a group of a bunch of different conservative sites are getting together, and they are pressuring Facebook. And these are, and I just got an email about it this morning. Just a whole bunch of different ones, including James O'Keefe's site. But these people are getting together, and they are pressuring Facebook and the other social media to open up to conservatives. How successful they'll be, I don't know. The only person did you see the testimony of Mark Zuckerberg?
Yeah.
Of course, not under oath, you know.
No.
And just robotic and whatever. The only congressman who said anything decent was a guy named Billy Long. He's a congressman from southern Missouri. And he said, you know, Congress does two things. They don't act or they overreact. Mm-hmm. We are on the verge of overreacting. I don't know if Zuckerberg got that, but Billy Long was basically saying, we're about to come down on you big time. We're about to regulate you big time. Do you really want to go there? Yeah. I don't know if Zuckerberg got that.
No.
You know, he doesn't, because he's, you know, got 2 billion followers. Mm-hmm. 2 billion people on Facebook.
Yeah, and no one's going to leave. Let's be honest, Facebook is the mom platform. That's what I call it. It's the moms. It doesn't matter about the right-wing pages. The moms don't care. If the moms care, you have to look at the core users.
Yeah.
You know, who are the majority of users on Facebook? It's moms. It's, you know, it's people just sharing their life. It's not really these right-wing people, you know? And so when the right-wing people are getting taken down, that really doesn't impact the main user base of Facebook.
Yeah, the people who are showing them sitting, drinking Chardonnay on a lawn chair with their feet sticking out. Yeah.
I hate that. It's those moms who, by the way, on Mother's Day, this is the most frustrating thing. I just want to say this. Having a dog does not make you a mother. Okay.
Yeah.
If you go on and you post a picture with your dog, what's the hardest thing you have to do with the dog? Like let it outside and it gets wet, and then you bring it in. It's like, oh, it smells.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
You're not a mother. So just want to get that out there. Okay. Those type of people, they run Facebook, right? With YouTube, it's different. I think YouTube is really starting to have a problem because a lot of people are leaving YouTube, and it's like YouTube demonetized that guy who had his dog do the Nazi salute.
Yeah.
And he said before, did you hear about this?
Yes, I did.
Before the video, he was like, let's see the most unattractive thing I can make this dog do so I can prove to my girlfriend that he's not that cute. Do a Nazi salute. And he did it. And then all of a sudden it's like,
threw him off.
You know, now he's under investigation in the UK. It's just the only solution at this point to me is we have to bring the whole thing down. We have to bring the whole thing down because they've gotten too powerful. We can't allow people to gain this much power. We just can't do it.
Well, you know, like for instance, we were using Facebook and reaching 19 million people a month. Mm-hmm. My show was reaching 600 to 800,000, getting 600 to 800,000 views a month. Mm-hmm. There were a lot of guys there were some guys just doing short videos going down to protests or what and getting 450,000 views. Mm-hmm. It was gigantic. And then January rolled around, the algorithm changed. And now we're coming back, you know, getting 16,000 views. There's a guy on Liberty One. He does a 3-hour show. And he got 40,000 views on one of his shows the other day. Mm-hmm. You know, and that's great. We're not able to monetize it right now. I don't know why. We don't have a sales force, which sucks. Yeah. But you know, we were using it for that. Also, I have a Twitch page, a Twitch feed.
Yeah.
And right now I've been doing this for about a month and a half, 2 months, and I got about 60, 70 videos up. And the thing about Twitch is you can run reruns, you can go live. I've got the ability here on my phone. I can go live on Twitch. I can go live on multiple. I've got Streamlabs. I've got Wirecast Go, and you can go live on your phone, and it looks good. So right now, what they're trying to do with Twitch is it's largely a gamer site, right?
Yeah.
But they're trying to make it more of a platform for people who talk. They've got some guy. He's got a cooking channel. There's a Bubba the Love Sponge. He's got a show, and there are other people coming to it. I haven't been able to really promote it.
They're not censoring it.
No, they're not censoring it.
Which is good.
They're not censoring it.
Yeah.
But again, you've got to get people to notice you, and I want you to help me use Instagram for that.
Well, let me talk about Facebook for a second, because Facebook's kind of dirty.
Yeah.
Right. So a view on Facebook is 3 seconds, regardless of if the sound is on or not. So the algorithm on Facebook essentially favors the videos that, like if you scroll through your Facebook feed, it'll be like, you'll have the screen, there'll be a caption on the top and the bottom. The top will be like XD, laugh face, laugh face, laugh face. I can't believe she did this. And then it's like boyfriend comes home. What are you doing? And she's like, just made it. And it's just the whole thing. And it's like, oh, you got me. And then, it's like prank things. That's how Facebook works now. The long videos, the hour-long podcasts, things like that, they don't work on Facebook anymore. You have to have those short 30-second to a minute and then promote the podcast from that. But it just doesn't work with the long stuff anymore. People just don't want to sit there and watch that. And so I've started to take advantage of Facebook by just posting that short stuff, getting it out there, just to help promote my Instagram. And the same works for Instagram. You gotta know what people like. And they just want something quick. They want a meme. They want a short video they can watch that gives them a lot of information in a short amount of time, and something they can share on their page, and that's that.
Okay, all right. I couldn't agree with you more, to be quite honest. Yeah. When we were doing the live, still doing live Facebook broadcast, the longer podcasts were working with the segment of the audience. So you've got 330 million people in the country, right? If you can get 50,000 of them to watch your show.
Yeah,
that's a very small audience, but that can be money. That's the difference. Even if it's a small audience, at least you've got 50,000 people watching.
Yeah,
what do you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
It's not that small of an audience. I mean, YouTube's done the same thing, right? YouTube has done the same thing to my channel. They've changed the algorithm up. Anything that mentions Trump, anything just gets pushed down. I'm not getting as many views. But I just keep pushing because I realize that eventually either they'll fold or I will, and that's their goal. They know they can't get rid of the movement altogether. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to pressure these right wingers so hard that they give up. Yeah. They want us to give up and stop doing what we're doing, but it's not going to happen. I don't plan on giving up anytime soon. I don't care what happens. Yeah. The movement is so large right now, and it's growing every single day. And once that pendulum swings, these social media companies are going to be in a world of hurt. I
hope so. I really do, because it is a slap in the face to publishers. It really is. Yeah. And I don't think I've got a lot of stuff to talk about here, but I really don't think I think we've gone where we need to go with this today. Yeah. We've covered some stuff. We've covered some stuff. Other than that, what's going on in the world, I don't know. This kind of depends. Melania Trump had surgery. Okay.
Hope she's doing well. Hope she's comfortable.
She's how
can you be comfortable? I hate that. I hate when people are like, "Hope you're comfortable." It's like, no, you don't hope you hope they're recovering well. No one's comfortable in the hospital. All right. It's just, you don't, unless you're on some drugs. But other than that, you're not comfortable.
North Korea threatening to cancel the summit.
Yeah. That's if Trump keeps doing tests in South Korea. You know what I say? Keep doing them.
Hell yeah.
If he steps back, then North Korea will start to feel powerful again.
Well, and we'll just crush you with, you will not, you won't get your Croatia. You won't get your Mercedes.
No, you won't get anything. And their economy will suffer and the people will uprise.
Yeah. The people, though, that's the only difference. They are so taught to worship the family that has been, in charge 3 generations of the family, of the family. And so I don't think, China crushed a rebellion in 1988 in Tiananmen Square. North Korea, I don't think the people have the will or the strength and they aren't armed, they aren't fed. So that's the only difference.
Yeah, and you know how the U.S. has had a history of trying Bay of Pigs, complete disaster.
Yeah.
But here's the sad thing.
Yes.
This is really upsetting about the people in North Korea, is that once we have this summit and everything works out, North Koreans get rid of their nukes, they get rid of their testing sites, people will stop caring about the people in North Korea. They just won't care anymore. It'll go back to being just another hermit nation. These people in this country will continue to be oppressed. They'll continue to starve to death. They'll live under this oppressive leader, and nobody will care because we made peace. The only time that people care is when it impacts them directly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's super upsetting to see, because those people, I mean, they're people too, and they don't know.
Well, the dream would be that North and South Korea reunite and the North falls. Kim Jong-un goes off and lives on the island of Elba in luxury. And I just don't know if that is possible. I don't know if it's possible.
The problem is when you merge North and South Korea, you have all these North Koreans who have zero skills.
Yeah, zero skills. They can dig coal and eat grass.
Yeah.
That's what they can do. Yeah, all right,
exactly.
dude. Well, it was nice to have you in today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really do appreciate it. Where can people find you online again, and tell everybody where your apparel is?
AmericaRebornApparel.com. You want to find me on Instagram, 2_savage_4_Democrats. You can find everything else from there. So.
All right, guys. Have a glorious one. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to The Rob Carson Show. Friend him on Facebook at Carson Show, on Twitter at Rob Carson, and on Instagram. I think Facebook and Twitter are enough for now. We'll see you soon.